Hi, Peppy. Hi, Bella. Forgot your name.
She thinks she's a lady. She's coming.
Wow. She thinks she is a lady.
That's basically what she told me.
Is that what you said? Yeah, there's no way you'd get out of this one.
I don't know. Tell me you are a lady. Yeah.
Okay.
But you have to send them still, okay?
Yeah, and I know it's not to your, I don't have spelt flour. I know that's not to your,
That's okay. Sharon Gilbert also joined. I'm going to say hi in a minute when Sharon's done. No, it's got, I like this recipe. Like, you can use whatever flour you want. It works.
okay.
Yeah.
No, but still, I know I would have liked to have tried because yours is young, but I didn't know where to go.
At this stage, I feel like anything goes.
If you're here, if you're present, you're present. Oh, yeah, cinnamon and sugar. That's what we've chosen for our sweet.
Oh, yeah. I told you. Well, I'm talking to ladies. You're going to have to be quiet, okay? I'm going to... Are you Menachem, you're letting people in?
Yeah, I'll
Okay.
look after it.
Hi, Sharon. Hi, Masha. Got my gloves on. Get ready.
I'm just muting myself because
Okay,
there's lots
sure.
of stuff happening here. Well, then come and say hello.
Ow!
Oh, hello.
Ow!
No. Okay, sorry.
Everyone has helpers. Lots of people have helpers tonight.
As fun as it is with helpers in the kitchen, it does add an extra element of trickiness.
Yes, an extra element of fun. I don't know what you're saying, Belle. What do you want to tell me?
Rochel, do you have a good honey cake recipe? You should share that with us. I'm sure that.
Yeah, I will. I like, there's one from Smitten Kitchen.
Yeah?
I can't remember what it's called.
Okay, you'll look it up and share it because there's so many honey cake recipes going around. It's good to know, like,
Oh, yeah.
a one that's, you know.
And they all look amazing. And so
They all do, yeah. But I like trying different ones and seeing what, you know.
So this one from Smitten Kitchen, someone recommended it to me a few years ago, and then I tried it, and it's really good. I'll just stick with that one.
Yeah, totally.
Did you spelt with it?
What?
You use it with spelt?
With the honey cake, yeah. But it's just, you use this plain flour in the recipe, and I just substitute.
Yeah. No, I only have spelt in the house. I don't have.
You want it?
Okay. Oh my goodness. All right. So I'm just thinking. Can I ask you for your what do you call those things? Your yeast.
Yeah.
How many packets of little yeast is the 3 tablespoons? Mine was like 4.5.
I don't remember because I just buy it in like a big thing and I just put it in a jar. I'm not sure.
Oh, I see. Okay, cool.
So just measure it
Okay,
out.
that's fine.
I don't remember.
Okay, no. Then it doesn't matter. Then I'll just go with the 3 tablespoons.
Okay.
Yeah, because I use those too.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah, I
cool.
think we'll maybe wait 1 more minute and then we'll wait a minute.
Okay, I'm just gonna start seeing how much. So when you say like 12 to 14 cups of spelt, just because I've got like a huge bag here, like what is the difference? Do you want me to just do 12 and then what makes the difference between 12 and 14?
Oh, I've got 12 in my bowl now. I start with 12 and at different times I need to add more. I don't know, depending on the weather, depending on exact.
Okay.
So start with 12 in your bowl. And then
Okay, I'll get 12.
As you go along, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah. Start measuring out the 12 cups of flour into the bowl.
Okay, so let me just put you on mute too.
I haven't started yet. Wait a minute. Yes, Bella? You can watch them if you need to. Yeah. when we cook, we wash our hands. That's what I've got. Okay, what's the time? Yeah.
When you want me to focus on which screen?
I don't know.
Like if it's just what you see mixing.
Oh, okay. Well, in a minute. Oh. This, okay. Okay, should we start?
Yeah.
Or shall I wait another minute? Okay, I guess we'll start. If everyone has all the ingredients, we can start now. Okay, so I guess Menachem's controlling everybody, all the background things. So I guess we're just going to put anyone on mute. If you need to ask something, just put up your hand. I don't know.
Just they can unmute.
Unmute yourself if you need to ask something. I don't know if you need to unmute it. Okay, so once you've got your 12 cups of flour into your bowl, if you can see, I don't know which way is more clear, make like a wall of flour down the middle of the bowl, just to divide the bowl into two. You like doing this bit, don't you? Yes. Oh, you like bashing down the wall. That comes soon.
Put an egg.
We do put in egg. No, first we're going to do the yeast and the warm water. Okay. Give me a
Menachem,
thought. Let me
can you
know.
show the bowl?
Sorry, what?
Can you show the bowl a bit more?
There's another, if you look at one of the other participants is my bowl. It says bowl view, so you can see what the bowl looks like.
Ah, okay.
There you go, yeah.
Thanks.
Uh-oh. Okay, so now we've got our two sides of the bowl. And on one side, we're going to put the yeast and half of the warm water. So 3 tablespoons of dry yeast, and then 2 tablespoons, and then 2 cups of warm water. Okay, that's what we have a helper for. 1, 2, 3. And then you just want it like lukewarm, that you can like comfortably put your finger in it. I'm just going to get some warm water from the tap. If you want, you can use boiling water and then add cold water to it. You just like baby bath water, very lukewarm, nice warm temperature. Yeah, you want to be able to comfortably put your fingers in. If it's too hot, you can kill the yeast. So just nice and warm. So yeah, the flour, we're just going to leave that now to rise, to like bubble and activate the yeast. If you want, you can give it like a little mix just to make sure all the yeast gets like wet, but you don't really need to do anything to it. So then on the other side of the bowl, of the flour wall, we're going to start putting the rest of the ingredients. So if you have your ingredients, that's good. If not, I'll go through it. So we're going to start with 4 large eggs. I'm going to crack them and check for blood. What? You can put them in, yes. I think bedtimes and normal routines have kind of disappeared in our life. Yeah. Blood, pour it in. Two. Put it in. Yeah, you can. There's no blood. If it's bright red blood, you can see. Put it in. Put it in blood.
How many cups of water did you put with your yeast?
2.
And it was
Warm
so you
water.
actually just put it in the side of the the thing. You don't let the yeast rise. I mean, do its thing in a separate thing, yeah?
So that's why I like this method. I don't need to make another thing dirty. It makes it, I've kind of created a separate bowl inside the bowl. Like that's why I make the wall of flour. So it's like on one half, it's doing its one thing, and then I'll add all the ingredients. And that's why I didn't pre-measure them, because as you measure each thing and put it in, that's enough. It doesn't take very long, but that's like, after all that time, the yeast has bubbled and it's ready to mix.
Okay, cool. Hang on a second. I just need to put the, where is that water?
Yes, Bella?
For one.
Not blood.
Eat it, you done? I don't know what you're saying.
Okay, so now we've got 4 eggs, and we're going to go on to...
Daddy, what you want? No, it's his problem.
We're going to do honey next, so the honey will slip out easily. So I like to do a mix of coconut oil and olive oil, but like plenty oil in.
Huh?
Yeah, I really like with challah, like you'll see most recipes, it's all a variation of the same thing. Like they've all got the same, like the flour, the oil, the eggs, the sugar, so it's usually 7 basic ingredients, and just like the sweetener might be different, the oil might be different, the flour might be different, but it's usually 7 ingredients. I like that kind of, it really ties in nicely with Shabbos, and when we usually have challah, the 7 ingredients, and Shabbos is the 7th day of the week. And some people like to get very mystical and give meaning to each of the 7 ingredients. Look into it another time if you want. Some of them get a bit far-fetched. Bella, what are you doing? Please stop.
How much oil? You're using coconut, yeah?
I use I put a bit of coconut into my measuring cup, and then I just fill it up with olive oil. So I think a full coconut is a bit strong for me, but a little bit gives it like a nice buttery flavor and texture. But you can do whatever oil you want.
I want to do the same as you. So a little bit of
a blob of coconut oil and then the rest olive oil.
Okay.
And when I find when I'm mixing in the warm water, it breaks up the coconut oil, so that's okay.
And is it 3/4 of a cup? Did you say?
No, a cup of oil.
Oh, a whole cup. Oh. What a bit more.
Sorry, so did you use some olive oil and some coconut? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
And so the coconut is hard?
Yeah, well, it depends on the temperature in your house. I didn't melt it because when we're mixing the warm water in your hands, like it breaks it up and mixes it.
Yeah, you sure? Okay, because mine is rock hard.
Step, I could melt the coconut oil as well.
Okay.
So once the oil's in, I'm in the same cup that's got like all nice and coated with oil now. I'm going to do 3/4 of a cup of honey. You could do a whole cup if you want to be extra sweet for Rosh Hashanah. Yes, it depends on the taste of you and your family, how sweet you like it. But this recipe usually has like 3/4 of a cup, and I don't know, that's what we use. It comes out nice. You can see. It comes out nicely once the cup had some oil in it. So then we're going to do the salt, and that is 2 tablespoons of salt. It's a bit stuck. So the salt, and then just after that is the rest of the warm water. Yes, you can put salt in. Sorry, it pours out really slow. Okay, Bella, here, 1 tablespoon. Here you go, Bella. 1, 2. 1. And
that
2.
didn't go in.
Oh, it went in. That's okay.
Point which side were you?
Oh, everything now is going on the side that has the eggs. The yeast and the water is still doing its thing by itself. And it should be bubbly. I can see mine has changed. It's like getting a bit foamy and bubbly. Bella, move your finger, please. And everything else is going on the other side. The 2 tablespoons of salt. We'll give it a little mix. Yes, Bella just reminded me. You can use a fork if you want just to break up the eggs. And then we're going to add 2 cups of warm water into this side as well. So to bring it to 4 cups of warm water altogether.
Push back towards us. The bowl.
Bella's giving a little mix. Well, I'm going to get the warm water. Just break up the yolks. You don't need to worry about it. So now we've got 2 more cups of warm water that will go in on this side, and then that's all the ingredients in our challah. There we go. So give a little mix. Mix very gently, not to break down the wall just yet. We'll do that in 1 minute.
Sorry, so it was 2 tablespoons of salt, so that's quite a lot.
Tablespoons of salt, yeah.
Mine is this pink Himalayan salt, which is really very salty. So
Actually Himalayan salt is good. I've actually read somewhere that people say it enhances their challah. I don't know. I haven't noticed really a difference. If that's what I've got, then that's what I use.
Do we have lentils?
no, we don't have it.
Salt is okay.
Then plain rice for Dad.
No, he can come and get it. I'm busy.
I'm just going to get a little bit of extra flour now, because in a minute we're going to break down this wall and start mixing it and kneading it. So I'm just going to have a bit of flour on hand to mix in as we need, because we usually do need a bit of extra flour.
It was. Where's the... Your tooth just came out? Well done, baby. Sorry.
Okay, so Bella's going to get to do... Oh, that's okay. Bella's going to get to do her favourite part now. Is everyone up to the same stage as me? Good.
No, I'm not. Sorry. I
That's
haven't
okay.
put the rest of my... I'm just trying to get the salt in.
Okay.
So that's 1. Tablespoons of 15 mils, right? Oh my God, this seems to be like a huge amount of salt.
It is, but we make like this recipe makes like 8 nice sized challahs that I use for Shabbos. For some reason, when I make it round, I feel like I need more dough per challah, so I'm going to make 6 challahs out of this. But like, it makes, I don't know, but like 8 nice sized challahs that like it makes a lot of challah.
Okay. So you said 2 more cups of water, yeah?
2 more cups of warm water, yeah. Yeah, I'm just mixing. Bella is itching to bash down this wall. Put it that way, which way? Okay. So yeah, we've mixed this side now. So now
We can bash down the wall.
we can bash down the wall. We're just going to start mixing it all together. You can give it a go with a spoon or wooden spoon, whatever. Yeah. I'm just going to mix everything all together. Okay, we're going to try and keep it in the bowl though. Okay?
No, it wasn't. The whole thing went in the bowl.
Yeah, we don't want to make a big mess. Okay. It's better with 2 people.
So are you mixing everything together now?
Yeah, because the yeast was nice and frothy and fluffy and it bubbled. And yeah, I just had mixed the eggs a little bit on their side to break them down a bit. But yeah, it's all ready to mix. So yeah, everything's in. And in 1 minute, I'm going to get my hands in there. And I've got some extra flour ready to just tip in bit by bit as I need, because I don't want it to be sticky. Robin, you're going to have a bit extra work if you're using plain flour. You're going to need to knead it more. Spelt flour doesn't need like the kneading. But if you want fluffy challah when using wheat flour, it needs like a good beating to get it fluffy. So yeah, I'm just going to get my hands in and start mixing. Now I'm going to do it.
I don't know if they can hear me. Yes, they can hear me, Kiki. Let me put it on mute.
I just like doing it with one hand to start with, but you use 2 hands if you want. And if you feel any like lumps of coconut oil, just like break them up. And yeah, smell the honey, can't you? Can you smell the honey? Not really? So you can still see it's still quite sticky.
Have a little bit.
And I just want to make sure that I'm getting all the flour from the bottom of the bowl. And this is the fun part when like we've made it with like bar and bat mitzvah kids in the bar mitzvah program and stuff. The kids just love getting like into this, and like there's some times that I've convinced that like they've walked off with more dough on their hands and they're left behind in the bowl.
No, I can't lick the
You
spoon.
like licking the spoon when we cook. Challah is not so yummy plain, is
I
it?
know, but I like licking.
You like licking the spoon?
Licking. You
Yes.
said clicking with way. Licking and licking. It's the same thing.
Okay, so I'm going to put a little bit more flour, just like a bit of a sprinkle all over the top.
Rachel, is it best to use self-raising flour, were you saying?
No, plain flour. I'm using spelt flour, but just regular.
Oh, spelt, that's what you're saying. Sorry,
Yeah.
thanks.
That's okay. No, because we use the yeast as the raising agent in the challah. Yeah, so with spelt flour, because it doesn't have as much gluten, you just want to be gentle with it. With wheat flour, it has like gluten that needs to be like stretched out. I'm just like folding in the flour gently.
We have a whole bunch of flour.
Yeah, we do have a bunch of flour. But you can see it's not as sticky anymore. And it's come together. I just want to like, I'll just mix it for another minute or so until it's like a nice smooth ball of dough. Then we can let it rise. You can make round challah. Yeah, I'm making round challahs.
No, today.
I think you're going to go to bed because I'm not making it straight away. We need to let the dough rise a little bit. I'll save some dough and you can make it in the morning. Bella. Real life negotiations with the 4-year-old. Maybe it's still a bit stickier. But you can see that like you touch it and it bounces back. It's not like sticking to me as much.
Say that's coconut bent.
Oh, a bit of coconut oil. That's okay. We'll clean it up after. So once you've got a nice kind of smooth ball of dough, I'm going to just pour a little bit of oil on it and give the dough a bit of a massage, and I'm going to cover it with some Glad wrap, and I'm going to leave it to rise. Usually I let it rise for at least an hour. Yeah? I can't hear you. 1 second. Peppy, can you unmute Robin? I've got all my...
Where's Robin?
Yeah.
She's still gonna have to.
Oh, we can't hear you. You're all sticky. I don't know how to... yeah. You can give it a little massage. You just rub the oil in gently. Yeah. Okay. You'll ask in a minute. So usually, I was going to say, we let it rise for like an hour, and then we punch it down, let it rise a little bit more. But tonight we'll just leave it to rise for about half an hour because we don't want to be here all night. And I've done this many, many times, and it works, and it's no problem. Okay, that's enough massaging. We just want it so that it doesn't get sticky. I'm going to leave my gloves here for later, and I'm just going to cover it with Glad wrap. You can also use, like, make it a wet tea towel. Anything that will just stop the dough from drying out.
Why are you using that?
It's Glad wrap.
Oh.
How much more of the flour did you put in?
It's hard to say. Maybe like a half a cup more.
Oh, okay. I think I just put 1 more cup in.
Yeah,
So,
that's
yeah.
okay. It really depends, I don't know, on so many things. Like each time I do it, it's different.
That's what I was
I
going
know I need to have extra flour on standby.
Mine still feels quite sticky, and I already added like another cup. Should I just add more?
Yeah.
Okay. I added only 2/3 of a cup, so maybe.
Yeah. There's been times I just need to keep going and going and going. There's just, I don't know, a lot of variables. each color. Yeah. I don't know.
Is Annie, come and mute me again? Vicky, mute the thing back. Oh.
Yeah.
On the left.
So we'll let it rise for a little bit, and we can talk a little bit about like Rosh Hashanah, Elul, Challah.
Can I stay? Thank you.
Nah, you can go to bed now. Okay, good idea. Wash your hands. It's always more fun when your kids are around. Oh, it's looking better, Robin.
Yeah, I think so. So there's a little bit still stuck in the bowl, but I think it's pretty like much better than it was.
Yeah. Maybe just
So
keep
what-
eating it a bit.
Okay, and then what did you say with the oil? I missed that step.
Oh, I just poured a little bit of oil on top and just like kind of rubbed it around so that
Okay.
and covered it so that that it won't dry out while it's rising.
Okay, and are you going to put it somewhere warm, or do you just leave it there?
If you leave it there, probably I should put it somewhere warm, especially because it's a short time. It's quite warm in my kitchen.
Okay,
Yeah.
I think that's much better. I feel like that extra cup, like that's much better. Okay.
So can I just show you what mine looks like? I'll see if I can.
Sure.
Excuse me. Everyone can hear you. So please just keep quiet. Sorry, I actually don't know how to. Oh, here, flip the camera. Show my hands up. So.
Yeah, that's looking good.
So I mean, it doesn't have to be. Is that cool?
Yeah. Like when you touch it, does it kind of like bounce back a bit and it's not sticking to your fingers?
Yeah, it's not sticking to my fingers.
Yeah, so that looks good.
Like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll just stick a drop of oil on and then.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, cool. Thanks.
Take my gloves out. So yeah, we'll just let it rise for a little bit and then we'll braid it. Yeah, and I was telling Robin before that I'll show you some ways to braid it and to do the round challah, but you can totally just leave the bowl of dough in the fridge overnight and do this in the morning if you don't want to stay up tonight baking the challah. Yeah. Or if you want to bake it, it's probably best to braid it in the morning rather than braid it tonight and leave it shaped in the challah. Yeah, if you want to do it in the morning, then just leave the dough in the bowl.
So if we want to learn to braid it, then it's best, should I turn my oven on? Like, is it better to have a warm oven or?
Yes, but it does need to rise for a little bit after it's been shaped.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good to have a warm oven, but it needs to once you've shaped, you need to let it sit for like half an hour to rise.
Okay. And this is, you said that about this, we're going to make about 6 round challas?
Yeah, there'll be big ones.
Yep.
But yeah, 6 big round challas. When I make the regular platted challas, this amount of dough makes 8 like nice sized ones.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know why. Whenever I make the round ones and I use the same amount of dough, they come out like a little bit like measly looking. They don't look very generous. I like to.
And then you just put them in the freezer.
Once I've baked them, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And how long does the baking for each one take?
It depends on the oven from 20 to 30 minutes.
Yeah, I've got a hot oven. I feel some ovens are hotter than that. Yeah.
Yeah, like I know in our old house, they took 20 minutes, and in this oven, I don't know. I'm still trying to figure it out.
Okay.
Yeah, it depends. It definitely takes longer in this oven. Yeah. But you want to, when you're baking it, you want to like look at the bottom. It should be browned on the bottom, and when you tap the top, like tap it, it should sound hollow. That's how you know it's done. There's something else I wanted to say about challah. Oh, I have tried just like freezing the dough and then defrosting it and braiding it and then baking it, and it doesn't work so well.
Yeah.
So yeah, the way I like to I freeze it is I bake it and then I freeze it baked. I found that works the best, and other people have success freezing the dough, but I don't know. I can't get that to work for me so well. We've had lots of soggy colours in my
Yeah. I think I've just decided I'm going to stay up late tonight and bake them. Otherwise, I'll get too confused. Are they flattened? Are they not? Are they?
Oh, okay, fine. It won't take so long. Because you can put quite a few in the oven at a time. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably 2 at a time. Yeah, 2 or 3. Yeah.
If I just want to bake one big challah, should I
Yeah.
divide the measurements by about 6?
Yeah. The smallest I've done is to do a quarter of this recipe, and that's
Quarter,
fine.
okay.
Yeah, and that would make like 2 nice sized colours.
Okay,
Yeah.
thanks. Thank you.
Yeah, I find, and to go any smaller than that is hard because I'm like, I don't know how to divide eggs up. Yeah. And that kind of works. Yeah. And then if I do a quarter, I'll still do like a quarter of a cup of honey, even though it's not exact, like, yeah. You can play around with it. Okay, any other questions on the challah dough before we like, I have a little idea to share about Rosh Hashanah and
Yeah.
stuff.
Are you going to, with the stuffing or topping, should we think about that now or come back to that?
Do you know what you want to put inside?
Well, I thought cinnamon and sugar, but if I'm going to do a few different ones, maybe I should get something else ready. What do you do?
Okay, so I've got a few different things. I've got, this isn't sweet, but I put in some sun-dried tomatoes sometimes, or I've got some pesto that we put inside. You can even just put in chocolate chips. The kids like that, or sprinkle.
Okay.
I also have, I'll show you. This is, I cut up an apple and cooked it with a little bit of water and a little bit of cinnamon and sugar. And it's kind of like a stewed apple, and I'm going to put it inside the dough.
Okay.
Yeah.
But the rest of the stuff is more like toppings as opposed to stuffings.
Yeah, the rest of, yeah.
Toppings, so I can just do, okay.
Yeah. Okay, so while we're waiting for our dough to rise, I thought it'd be a nice time to share like a little thought on Rosh Hashanah, a little bit connected to women, because challah is traditionally like a women's mitzvah, something that women are more involved in, although if a man is making challah, it's also a mitzvah for him. It's also a mitzvah to take the dough, that's the challah. So nothing is coincidence, of course, but tonight is the 25th day of Elul, which is the birthday of the world, with the day that Hashem started creation. So and was creating the world for the first 6 days, and for the 6 days of creation. The 6th day, Adam and Chava, the first people, were created, and that's Rosh Hashanah. So Rosh Hashanah is the birthday of mankind, as well as all the other things that happen in Rosh Hashanah. So tonight, Chaf Hey, the 25th of El, is the birthday of the world, when Hashem started creation. So today is the day when Hashem took his spirit, and it was like hovering over the water, just his spirit that was everywhere, and he started processing it into matter, and putting his spirit and spirituality into the earth, the trees, the skies, the animals, birds, and into the creation, into the world that we know it. And Hasidic masters, their teachings tell us that, kind of in a nutshell, our job on earth is to process all physicality, all this created material, and return it back to its source, to its spiritual essence, kind of tap into the spirituality inside everything. So I guess, how do we do that, and what does it mean? And challah is really a good place to start, because challah is a pretty earthy, physical, tactile thing, where physically with our hands making food from raw ingredients. And we process it and we take all these raw ingredients into a celebration. And it's not just bread, it's challah. We take basic ingredients, we make them holy by taking the challah dough, making the bracha on it, and then using it for a Shabbat meal or a Yom Tov meal. And it, like, you know, it takes a Sunday lunch and it turns into Rosh Hashanah lunch because it's something more, it has challah. And it turns like the everyday things into something a bit more sublime. And the Torah kind of gives us a step-by-step practice how to bring down the spirituality into the physicality. So when Moshe was taking the Jewish people, he took them out of Egypt, they were in the desert, he's in the desert telling them, they received the Torah, like, what do you do with all this information? So he's telling them, when you come into the land, when you come into Israel, you're going to start, you're not going to get the manna anymore, you're going to have to start working for your bread. You're going to have to work really hard, you're going to have to plow the earth, you're going to have to sow the seeds, you're going to have to tend to it and reap and harvest, and then you're going to take all the flour, take all that wheat, turn it into flour, and then you're going to take that flour, mix it with other ingredients, turn it into dough, and then wait, right before you're nearly there after all your hard work, you've got the dough, you nearly have the bread. At that point, you're going to take a little piece and you're going to give that to God. So in the times of the Mishkan and the Beit HaMikdash, each time someone made a dough with a certain amount of flour, like what we did tonight, they would take a portion of their dough and take it to the Beit HaMikdash and give it to the Kohanim, that they would have something to eat. Nowadays, we just take that piece and we burn it. And that little piece that we take off, that's the challah. That's why this bread is called challah, because we take the challah. And by doing this, we're reminding ourselves that all material, like physicality, all material things, everything around us, the world around us is just something spiritual that's been processed into something physical. And when we have that awareness, we can recognize that everything is from Hashem, and we have the tools and the power to use material gifts, and everyone has their strengths and their things in their life, and you can use the physicality and make something spiritual out of it, something higher and greater than ourselves, and we can turn every experience that we have into an opportunity to bring more light and to elevate things and use them for more than just physical things. This is one of the secrets of the challah. And I guess because women are traditionally and just practically in a lot of homes, they're the ones that are feeding people and worrying about all the physical things. Women are a lot more connected to this mitzvah. And we're kind of the ones that can understand how physical things and caring for other people and doing things for other people, it also has spiritual aspects to it. And everything physical that we do for other people is something spiritual as well. And a really great example of this is a lady called Hannah, a woman called Hannah, and we read about her in Shul on Rosh Hashanah in the Haftarah. She lived about 400 years after Bnei Israel, the people entered the land of Israel, and she's a really special and incredible woman, and we read about her on Rosh Hashanah. And so we'll go into why we read about her on Rosh Hashanah. Sorry. So basically her story is that she was married to a man called Elkanah, and he had two wives. One was Hannah and the other was Penina. And then Penina had quite a few children, but Hannah she didn't have any children. And this caused her a lot of anguish, and she cried for it, and it hurt her terribly that she didn't have any children, and this other wife had many, many children. And even though Hannah would ask her, like, why are you so sad? Why are you crying? Why aren't you eating? Why aren't you doing anything? And am I not more devoted to you than 10 sons? And he didn't realize how deep her need for children was. So they would go up to Shiloh, to where the Mishkan was, a few times a year, and she would go. And one time she went into the sanctuary and she was praying and like pouring her heart out to Hashem, and she was kind of mouthing this wordless prayer at a time where prayer and offering was it was the korbanot, it was sacrifices. There was physical and tangible ways that people prayed in those, not prayed, but that they worshipped in those days. It wasn't the silent prayer that we're used to today. So the high priest saw her and thought she was drunk. He thought she was crazy. Like, what's this lady doing? Mouthing things, like she's not making any sound. She's crying, like she looks crazy. And she said, no, I'm not a drunk crazy. I'm just a very unhappy woman. I have drunk no wine. I've just been pouring my heart out to Hashem. And then when he realized that she was not drunk and it was just real earnest and honest prayers, he said, go in peace and may Hashem grant what you have asked for. And she was, after that, she did merit to have a child who was Shmuel, who was an incredible person in Jewish history. And basically from her, we get the whole idea of silent prayer. Many years later, when we had to change the way that we worshipped, it was her. We could say, oh, this is another way of worshipping with this silent type of praying, which is what she did. But then we have a question, like, how could he even think that she was drunk? Like, if he was the high priest, like, and he was such a person of that nature, like, couldn't he see what she was doing, that it was a legitimate and heartfelt prayer? So the Lubavitch Rebbe explains that he wasn't asking her, like, why are you, like, drunk from wine? He was saying, like, why are you drunk on your own physical desires? Like, Hashem is everything. Hashem is the Almighty King. Like, when you worship Hashem and you daven, you say Hashem is the master of the universe. Isn't that enough for you? How can you bring your own physical needs into this picture? Like, how can you say that you want a child? That's your physical need. Like, Hashem is everything. How could you need anything else? And I guess this is kind of a paradox of prayer, and this is at the heart of the high holidays, that we stand in shul on Rosh Hashanah. This year we'll all be standing at home, offering our heartfelt prayers for many things, and we're davening and we say, Hashem, you're an all-knowing, you're a benevolent King, you're perfect beyond all measure, and we crown Hashem as King, and there's this sense of awe and reverence, and it's all about how great Hashem is. But then at the same time, we're saying, I need this, I need that, I don't have this, I don't have that. Make sure we have enough food, make sure we're healthy, that we have children, that we've got everything that we need to live in a safe and happy way. Let us have a life that's not lacking anything. So, like, how do we synthesize these two ideas? So this we can learn from Hannah. She's the one who taught us how, that it's because of her deep spiritual connection and her understanding of the unity of all creation, and that, like, her role within it, and it's one of the reasons I read her story on Rosh Hashanah. In the Talmud, it says that before Hannah went to pray, she took a stock of herself and she, like, critically examined herself, like her entire body, and she asked herself, is my whole being, is my body being used in the service of Hashem? And in the Gemara, it says that, like, let's look at the words, and she spoke to her heart, and she looked at all her organs, and Hashem you created everything in me that I need, and obviously Hashem, you haven't created anything in vain. So she looks at herself, she's like, well, you've created my eyes to see and ears to hear, nose to smell, mouth to speak, everything, but you've created my breast to nourish and sustain a child, but you haven't given me a child. How could you have created this if it has no purpose? Grant me a son that I can nurse and sustain a child. And she saw that she had part of her being that was created, but it wasn't being used in the service of God. And she said, like, if I don't have a child to grow and to nourish and to educate, what use is this part of my body? So she was begging for a blessing for a child so that she could devote her entire being to Hashem. And then her prayers were answered eventually, and she had her son Shmuel, and he was a child who was a child of greatness, and he did go on to be a leader and a prophet for many decades. And he was the one who was there when the Beit HaMikdash was built. So it was Hannah who kind of taught us how to do this, to see ourselves as essentially spiritual, and that we do need we have physical needs, and we want blessings, but we want them in order to be able to fulfill our spiritual goals and purposes. and she taught us how to pray for our needs and how to fuse our physical selves, that like the food that we cook and the children that we care for and everything that we do in our lives, the work that we do, the help that we do for others, it can be really, really mundane, but it's all part of something greater and bigger and more sublime than ourselves. And so this is one of the reasons that we read about Chana on Rosh Hashanah, and I really like that idea, because as women we're making challah and we're fusing physical and spiritual, and we're doing this before Rosh Hashanah. So I really like that idea, and I wanted to share that with you while we're waiting for our dough to rise, our physical, spiritual mess that we've created. Yeah. I know it hasn't been half an hour yet, but my dough, Malcolm says it basically has been half an hour. I can see my dough has risen a little bit. It is getting a bit fluffy. So in a minute, we're all going to get our dough, and we'll take a little handful of dough, and we're going to wrap it up and burn it, just like they used to do in the Beit HaMikdash. And this is what this little piece is challah. And when we do it, we'll make a bracha, and then we'll take this little piece of dough. And this time when we're taking this dough and making the bracha, like you said, like challah shows that there's something much bigger and greater than us. And it's just like an example of so many other things in our lives. But by doing this mitzvah, we have an opportunity now to dive in for anything that's on our minds, on our hearts, for ourselves, our families, the communities, like our world. There's a lot of things that need praying for, but you can, whatever, this is a private prayer, a private moment that you can do whatever you want. There's no right or wrong. And this we do, we take the challah before we're going to separate, before we divide the dough up into the different challahs. Yeah, ideally it should rise a little bit more, but we don't want to be here till midnight altogether, so we'll do it now. So I'm going to punch it down a little bit, and then I'm going to make the bracha, and can follow along and say it after me, and then we will take a little bit of dough. Before, I'm just going to get a little piece of foil to wrap it in.
Okay, slow down the tick. Slow down the tick.
Yeah. Interestingly, this dough, when we're burning it in the oven, like, we can't eat this dough, and if we just put it in the oven to burn and to cook off, we can't cook other food at the same time as it if it was open, because it's not kosher, but because we've separated it, we can't eat it. It's not for us. So in a way, it almost is non-kosher, that we can't eat it. And I always found that so interesting. Like, it's the kosher dough, but we can't eat it. You ready?
Mine doesn't seem to have really risen very much yet, though.
Did you feel any difference?
Do I feel a difference?
Yeah.
Hang on a sec. A little bit.
Okay, so you know what? You can do this now, or you can leave your dough overnight to. If you leave it overnight, it will grow too much. If you leave it in the fridge, it will grow a lot more slowly. So it's a little more safe option. You can leave it, and you can separate this and divide it all up and bake it in the morning if you want, if you don't feel it's ready yet.
Okay.
I'll show you what to do, and you can do it in the morning.
I better just do it now, just because I've got work in the morning. Okay, hang on a sec. All right, so let me just grab a piece of foil.
After we've braided it, we if it's not risen, maybe it'll do another rise then, you said?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it definitely does another rise after a braided. And even as you're working with it, you're only braiding one section, so the dough still has time to rise a bit. Okay, so we'll make the bracha. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam Asher Kiddushanu B'mitzvotav V'tzivanu Lahafrish Challah. You take just a small little handful of dough, Teharei ze challah. This is the challah. This is what makes the rest of the dough the challah. I'm just going to wrap it up. You can just take a moment now and just, focus on some prayers for yourself and your family. I'm just going to go and put it in my oven while it's preheating, and I'll let the dough burn. It doesn't need to burn completely. We just want to kind of make it inedible, and then we can throw it out. Need a little bit of space.
What temperature is the oven on?
Oh, 180. To move my microphone. I'm not going to move it because I don't want to get dough on it. Just maybe move it a little bit back. Thanks.
I don't think we can see you. Oh, there you are.
I'm still here. I've just moved the dough a little bit because I'm going to
Oh, I see.
do the challah in the middle now. Okay, so I'm just going to put a little bit of flour on my bench. I should probably put my gloves back on. Never mind. And I'll tip the dough out. You can give it a little bit of a knead, fold it. If you want. So just divide it into how many challahs you want. I'm going to do 6. You can, it's up to you. I'm going to do 6 that are all basically the same size, or I'm going to try and make it the same size. But if you wanted to make a few small ones, you could, whatever. So you can see I haven't really kneaded it that much, and there are some bubbles, so the yeast has been working. Going to fold them over a little bit and let these balls rest a little. You can see they're not exactly perfectly equal, but roughly. I know some people like to weigh them to make sure that each challah is exactly the same size, but I'm not that formal or fancy with my challah dough. If you want to do, sometimes I'll take one of the portions and divide it into a whole bunch of small ones. So I've got a whole bunch of small rolls. Really, it's up to you to do what you want. I've also got some trays with baking paper ready. If you have any round baking dishes, that's also really good for when you're making these challahs. But I just use a regular baking tray and it works out fine. Okay, I think we'll maybe start with probably the easiest one first. I'm not going to even cut it up. I'm just going to take the dough, make a long snake, as the kids say. This one's probably also going to be the easiest to stuff, so I'll stuff this one, and I'll show you how to stuff it. Trying to keep it all in the camera, so I can't spread it out too much. Okay. So basically,
How long is it, Russell?
it's about as long as my arm.
Okay.
It's quite long. I'm just gonna wind it round to make
Yeah, but it's good to know about as long as you are. Otherwise.
See, and now I'm just flattening it a little bit. That way we can stuff it. I'm going to do this one savory. Pesto, just pesto from a jar, and I'll show you what to do. But you can do this is the same thing with any stuffings, anything that you want inside your challah. And you're just going to put like a line down the middle.
Have you ever made it with jam? Like stuffed it with jam? Do you think I could do that?
You could.
I've never done. Sorry?
You can do anything.
I mean, I just don't have, I don't think I've got any different stuffings. So I'll just.
You can do whatever you want. You don't have to put anything if you don't want.
It'll just be interesting. I'll try.
Yeah, there's this lady on Instagram that I follow, Man Delicious Challah, and every week she makes a different flavor. So she like literally stuffs like everything and anything inside her challah. Like I think she's done like peanut butter and jam and like any flavor combination that you know of, she stuck it in challah. So yeah, you can experiment. Especially because Rosh Hashanah, we want to like have the sweet ones. Yeah, Sam, sounds like a good idea. So then, yeah, just as you can see, I'm just over the pesto. I'm just going to I'm taking the challah and pinching it closed.
Oh my goodness.
Just try and like, you don't want it to escape too much, but it's okay. So this is like the traditional round challah that like the kids do in kinder, but I don't know, I like it, and it works, and it's a round challah. So literally just take it and snake it around, and just tuck the end under, and we have our round challah. Oh, maybe I should have tried to put the seams underneath, but it's okay.
Mine isn't like pinching together at all. It's like, I guess I have to show you this. It's hysterical. Hang on a second. Okay, hang on a second. So it looks disgusting.
It's okay.
It's like very brown because my honey was brown.
That's okay. Yeah.
So it's actually not like joining together. So
yeah. See if you can just stretch the dough over it and like pinch it, or maybe make your fingers a tiny bit wet to make it stick.
Yeah, I think I'm going to take a whole bunch of this strawberry jam out.
It bakes, it all kind of cooks in. It's very forgiving. It's okay.
Do you fit 2 on a tray, Rachel?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, this is good.
Yeah, so you should be able to bake a few at a time. Shouldn't take too long. Yeah, but yeah, just don't put them right next to each other because they're going to grow. So the next one, I'm going to divide this dough into 2. I'm also going to stuff it, and I'm going to do two different stuffings, and they're going to be like twisted around.
Are you going to do sweet, or what are you going to do?
I'm going to do sweet. So I'm going to do, in one of the strands, I'm going to do cinnamon sugar.
Yeah.
And the other one, I'm going to do that like stewed apple.
Okay. Could I just do cinnamon and sugar in both? Just to learn, yeah, just to learn a different, just to, yeah, copy you. Okay.
You can do whatever you want, whatever your family will like, whatever you've got at home.
Sorry, so
Yeah.
if which way do you stuff it? Do you turn it with the edge that you've stuffed, like the closing edge that you've stuffed in which, like, inside?
Yeah, you probably should. I did it, and afterwards I was like, I probably should have. But it will grow and it will be okay.
And did you just twirl it up like a snake?
Yeah, I just twirled it up like.
Yeah, like a cinnamon bun.
Yeah, just very simple. This one I'm going to be doing a very similar thing, but just I'm going to take these two strands and twist it, so it just looks a little bit different. And also you can try maybe like slitting it open. That doesn't really make a difference if you cut it with a knife. I've got my cinnamon sugar mix. So I'm going to sprinkle that down the middle of one strand.
It seems like very sticky. The dough seems very sticky.
Oh yeah? So you could maybe like flour the surface that you're working on in your hands, or maybe you could put a little bit of oil on your hands. Sometimes that helps as well. And this one I'm putting in cinnamon and sugar. My helper's back, she wants to know what's going on. So I'm just going to pinch that one close, and yeah, it's probably going to be a bit tricky because the cinnamon and sugar is dry. We'll do the best we can. I did one with pesto. I'm getting instructions for pesto challah. It's quite funny because this same child, when she's had a few Zooms with her class, refuses to talk to anybody. Won't talk to her friends on Zoom, but she's happy to talk to you. Okay, so that's one, and I'm going to get my apple mix and put in that one. So this is just like one Granny Smith apple. I cut it up very small and cooked it with a little bit of water, cinnamon and sugar.
Is this the last challah you're doing?
No.
Just checking, Rachel, the other challah's just sitting on your tray.
Yeah.
That's, yep.
Yeah, just leaving it on the tray now.
Yep.
We'll do its thing rising for a bit. This is not going to be perfect. We'll try the best that we can.
Yes.
And again, I'm going to do the pinchy thing.
Look at me. So I feel that me.
We can hear you whispering, Menachem. Not what you're saying, but it just sounds kind of cute.
It's
Do you,
it's me and Bella talking in the background.
do you guys spray your pans with oil?
I just put baking paper down underneath.
Okay, so you don't spray it on the baking paper?
No, the baking paper just, yeah, it doesn't stick to the baking paper.
Cool.
Okay, so yeah, then I've got my two
Could you put
stuffed.
2 on 1? Yeah.
2 stuffed snakes. So now I'm just going to twist them over each other. As twisted as I can get it. And then again, just twirl it around and tuck and twirl it around and pinch it at the bottom, at the back. So it's the same kind of just round one. It just looks a bit prettier because it has the twists.
I'm just scared this is going to burn from the jam. Let's see. No, we'll see. We'll work it out.
Okay. For the next one, I'm going to divide it.
I've got the ingredients, so it's pretty much.
Yeah, you also need a little bit of flour.
Sorry, Rachel, what are you doing with this one?
I've divided it into 4 equal parts, and I'm going to make each one into snake sausage. I don't know what to call them.
Okay.
Roll each one into a log. You can see them. These ones are much shorter than other ones. Bella's telling me we call it a snake. Try and get them roughly the same size. If you wanted to get fancy, you could stuff these ones as well, but I'm just going to keep them like this. So we're going to have 2 going one way, and then the other 2 are going to go the other way. Okay, once I've got 4, I'm just going to kind of...
Can you wait one second?
Yeah, sure. I'll do it again. Oh, Bella coming?
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
That's great.
Yep.
So I have 2 strands going one way, and then 2 going perpendicular, and then just kind of like weave them, over and under. So once we have that, on each side, I'm going to take, if you can see, this one is over and this one is coming from under. So I'm going to put the one that's under and cross it over the other one.
Yep.
And cross it over. I'm going to do that on all 4 sides. Now I've kind of got 4 new pairs.
Yep.
And then again, take the one that's under and put it across the one that's over. Go around the circle doing that. And we've got a little bit more, so we can kind of do it one more time. It's getting a bit of a stretch, but we'll cross them over. And we can pinch them in and then tuck them under. And we've got another round challah in a really pretty kind of different shape. A woven round challah.
Are you going to put something on top?
Yeah, not yet. After it's risen, I'll give it an egg.
Oh, yep.
The sprinkles on. Yeah, let me see the top on this. Want to do one more shape?
Yep.
Okay. So this one is going to be with 6 pieces of dough. And again, we're just going to roll them into 6 equal strands. I'm trying to stretch them out. And again, we're going to do 3 going one way and then 3 going the other way. Long. These ones don't go as long. Okay, so again, we're going to do weaving. I'll start with the middle one. So yeah. Oh no, messed up. There we go. Look, I've done something wrong. Yeah. I got it. So, a little weave at the top.
Should they be opposite? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's okay if there's a little bit of space in between, but you do want them quite close because it will grow and they'll fill in all the gaps. So then on each of the 3 sides, just do a little plait. Pinch them at the end. And then just kind of fold them all in, and we have another woven challah. Let's do this one.
So you flip it over.
Yeah, and then flip it over. Yeah.
Oh, it looks so pretty.
And there's one more very easy one. I'm just going to get one thing that I need.
What's the thing that you need? Maybe we need it too.
If you have a little oven-safe bowl.
Mm.
A little bowl that can go in the oven, or any type of like little ramekin.
Okay. Wait for us to get one.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it now, sorry.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, this one is very easy. We'll just divide the dough into 6 parts.
Sorry, won't you just show me how big is the bowl that you've got?
It's just it's like a little bowl.
Oh, a little bowl.
A little oven-proof bowl, oven-safe bowl. Basically, I'm going to make like a little ball, just tuck it under, make a little ball of dough with each of the pieces, and place it around the bowl. These aren't very even pieces. Some of them are bigger than others.
About how many pieces did you say? Are you doing?
I did it in 6. You could do 5 or 6 or however many you want. basically we're going to try to make like a little flower around the bowl. I really didn't
Have another piece of paper. Thank you. Thanks.
Oh, I don't know what I've done here.
Is this going to make a pull apart?
It is a pull apart, yeah, but and then you can put honey in the middle. You can use the little dish and put the honey in the middle. For some reason I've made, yeah, I don't know what I've done here, but yeah, you get the, hopefully they'll grow evenly.
She put the bowl in flour. I think she said. Oh, did you say dip the outside of the bowl in flour?
No, probably.
Oh.
You can if you want.
No worries. We just thought we heard you say that.
And then if the bowl can't go in, you can just maybe put a piece of foil in the middle just to hold the space. And then you know that when it's, and you bake like this, then afterwards you can put the little bowl with honey in the middle of the challah and bake it together. Yeah, I'm just thinking I should probably wrap it in some baking paper or something. And then you've got one last piece of dough. You can do whatever you want with. You can choose your favorite. So this one that we just did, it looks really pretty when you put the egg wash and you put like a different seed on each one. It can look really pretty. And we should do all the same. I'm just doing a simple, easy one for my last one.
What's that? Which one?
The long, just simple, the long snake that you wind up.
Yeah.
And there you go. You've made a whole bunch of colors.
That's so cool.
Yeah, so for this one, I think I'm gonna I'll brush it with the egg wash and then put different seeds or make a pattern of different seeds around them, around it. And yeah, then it will be a pull apart. Everyone can have their little color and they can dip it in.
When do you take away the little bowl?
If it's safe to go in the oven, you can bake it with it so that it holds its shape, or you can just put a little piece of foil or something to keep the shape. Yeah.
When you're doing your sprinkles, or at what stage? So you do the egg wash and then sprinkles, or?
Yeah, egg wash and sprinkles. So I'm just going to let them rise for a little bit, maybe like half an hour, and then right before putting in the oven, I'll put an egg wash. I'm just going to beat an egg and brush it. And then put the sprinkles on. So yeah, I've got poppy seeds, sesame seeds, sunflower seeds.
Yep.
Mini chocolate chips. You can't go wrong with chocolate chips. Yeah.
And so about how much does the one egg, not for all of them, you might need
should be enough for the whole batch.
For all 6. Oh, okay, awesome. Okay.
Yeah.
Those are the little things that you.
Yes.
The little tips, like you don't know how many eggs to beat. Yeah.
Yeah. If it's a little egg, like sometimes like
yeah,
maybe put a bit of water in it.
Water. Okay.
Yeah. But yeah. Hopefully this all works.
Yay! That was awesome.
Good. Thank you for coming on. It's good to see you.
Thank you, Rachel. No, it was great. Now I think I'm gonna wait the half an hour and just do the baking.
Yeah. And then I just leave it out till they're cool and put them in a bag and freeze it.
Yeah.
Did you say it took 20 to 30 minutes to cook?
Yeah. So 180 and about 20 to 30 minutes. Because these are a bit bigger than I usually make, it probably won't be ready at 20 minutes, but depending on your oven, check on it. You want to like turn it over. You want to see the bottom is nice and brown, and you want to tap it and you want it to sound hollow, and then you know it's ready. Yeah.
I need more room in my freezer.
I know, that was the only thing. I was like, because I wanted to make a whole bunch of challah, and I was like, I don't know if I'm going to keep it all. But this should be enough for Rosh Hashanah.
Yeah. So the egg wash, you just beat up one egg and brush it over.
Yeah.
Thanks.
If we can wait till Rosh Hashanah, we might have, this might be the during the week before Rosh Hashanah.
Yeah, that's always the problem. When you have fresh challah, like, you need to taste it.
Yeah.
This is definitely going to be the prequel.
Yeah. We might have this for breakfast tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I'm
Oh,
thinking.
and cinnamon and sugar you could do on top as well. Is that what you?
Yeah, for sure.
That's amazing.
You do cinnamon sugar on top.
Who are you talking to?
Oh, also, some people I know for Rosh Hashanah like to chocolate honey. In the egg wash, they put some like honey and vanilla or sugar and vanilla in the egg wash a little bit. Just
Make a bit sweet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Really, you can play around and like anything.
I know you say you can do whatever, but if you're not used to it, you don't know what whatever is. So your whatever is helpful.
And then after the egg wash, sprinkle maybe whatever seeds on top.
Whatever seeds, yeah. Or yeah, you can do cinnamon and sugar or raisins, seeds, anything, and whatever. Yeah.
You still do the egg wash on the pesto one as well? Yeah,
Yeah.
egg wash on everyone. Yep. Okay.
Everyone, yeah. And there you go.
Awesome. Thank you, Rachel.
Send me photos. I want to see how they turn out.
Okay. We'll take a before and after.
Okay.
Thank you. I took notes to do it this week.
Okay, good. Let me know how it goes.
Thanks.
By the time you wash up, that's half an hour, and then you put them in the oven, and
Exactly.
then you're good. Thank you.
Pleasure. I'll see you. Have a Shana Tova.
See you soon. Shana Tova. Bye, Wolf family, whoever's back there.
Hopefully some of them are sleeping or in bed.
Yeah. Hi, Masha. Good to see you. Bye, Sharon. Shana Tova.
Bye, Sharon.
Shana Tova. Thank you. Bye, Rachel.
Bye-bye.